Hello. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Okay, so I can see we have around 60 peoples now. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, guys, we will be starting the session soon. Okay. Just waiting a couple of minutes for more people to join. All right. Okay. 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 So I guess we have around 100 people or so. Yeah. Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi. Okay. Let's start the session. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Can you guys just confirm, is my screen visible? Okay, okay. So let's start. Okay, so today we have a special session for you that was highly requested. Okay, so in today's session, we will be discussing about the technical interviews. Okay, we will be going in depth about it. Right, what are the things that one must do to like ace in the technical interview? What concepts they must learn and how to like prepare for it. Okay, so one by one, we will be covering all these points. And yeah, I would highly appreciate if you keep this session like interactive because it's for you and it's for so that you can just get the most out of it. So yeah, if you have any questions throughout the session, you can just type it in the like live chat, and I will be checking it from time to time and answering all your doubts. All right. Okay. So first of all, a bit introduction about myself, who I am. Yeah, I am Jasmeet Singh. Okay, I'm a web developer. I have done couple of interns in organizations such as Celebrity School and WebCube. Okay, currently I'm a web developer at Inception Wave. My major tech stack is MERN, with React being the primary technology that I am comfortable and I work upon. Also, I'm a C and C++ coder. That is the main language that I use for my data structures and algorithms. I have mentioned my handles all along at the bottom. If you are like interested in checking it out, you can just visit them. All right. Okay. Okay. So let's first discuss whether is this session for you or not. Do you have any reason to watch it or not? Okay. So yeah, I have listed a few points that I think that will be like sufficient to answer your queries. So we know that it's almost the placement season is coming upward, and also many college students and people are preparing for it. So if you are someone who is like preparing for placements or internships that are like about to start from the next let's say semester, so this session will help you a lot. Or if you are someone who is like willing to change their field and switch to a CS domain, or if you have a dream to like crack some tech giants, so this stream will be quite a help for you. So you will be getting the insights of how a technical interview works, what is expected from you, and how you should perform in it. Right. Now, can I quickly get a quick chat for your reason to like what is your goal, why you would what you would like from this interview or this session, right? Yeah, I can see several charts. Okay, okay, placements, interns. All right. Okay, 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 okay. Let's start. Let's first understand what is a technical interview or technical round, right? Yeah. So basically, whenever we apply for a technical job in any organization, we have we have to sit through a technical interview. It consists of several rounds. These rounds are basically focused on checking our various aspects, that is our behavioral, situation, and technical expertise, right? These are there are four main fundamental things that each technical interview like consists of, that one must like learn for sure, right? First one being the most important, that is data structures. Second is projects that showcase your skills and your familiarity with the technology. The fourth being the core CS fundamentals, that is expected from an individual, that he must know some CS fundamentals and how CS works in general. And the last but not the least is your soft skill, right? Because when you are appearing for a technical role, you are just not appearing for yourself, you will be hired as a team player. So soft skills make you a great asset of the company, and yeah, contributor to the team, right? So we will be now covering each of this topic in detail, and one by one we will go of to all of them. Along with that, if you have any doubt regarding any part at any of point of the time, you can just put your questions in the chat, and I will be answering them. Okay. So let's start with the data structure part. So what is data structure? Basically, see, data structure is a logical representation of data in a computer, right? It's done so that we are like able to store our data in the most efficient manner and able to perform some algorithms so that the computation time that is required for any of our job done by computer is least as possible. Okay, so that is the main gist about data structures and why we learn them. So now let's have a pattern like how we will be discussing the data set. So first we will be like discussing how you should approach a data structures, what are data prerequisites before learning it, and how should you learn it, right? So first of all, you should pick a language. Now, what is a language? Any C++, any programming language, being C++, Java, or Python. Right. I have seen many people, they like procrastinate on learning data structures because they are like stuck with the question of whether which language should I choose. Should I choose C++, Java, or Python? Yeah. So for them, my suggestion would be like picking any one, because both are object oriented programming, like C++ and Java. Python I won't recommend that much, because many companies like don't offer Python in their technical rounds. C++ and Java are for sure offered by all the companies, right? So both are object oriented languages. Once you learn one, the second one comes along, right? It's just a matter of like a week or so, so you will be like good to go with the second one also. You can try, you can either pick one and stick to it, or what you can do is, if you are like really confused whether to use C++ or Java, what is the benefit of learning C++ over Java or Java over C++, so you can like give a week to both. Try learning C++ for a week and then Java for a week. Then you will be having a taste of both the worlds, right? So you will be make able to make your own decision whether you want to continue with C++ or Java. But at the end, I would pick any one of them and just start learning it. Okay, so now you have sorted out your language which you want to continue with. Now, next thing is what should be your second step. Once you select a language, your first step should be like learning that language, the basics of it, like how the syntax works, what are the libraries that this language use, what is the advantages and disadvantages of this language, what is like how to like handle conditions, how to handle loops, how to handle the basic stuff, right? That is errors and stuff, what is the main syntax that the language follows, right? That is your second step. I won't like recommend to get a professional knowledge in it, but yeah, you should have your basics clear so that you are able to uh, cope up with the next part, that is learning data structures. Okay, so now data structures are as I said, a logical representation of data in computer field. Okay, so you should learn data structure in increasing difficulty manner. You should first start with arrays. The data structures basically consists of arrays, right? Arrays, strings, linked list. That these are the easy level topics. Now coming to intermediate part, we have stacks, we have queues, we have hash maps, we have heaps. So these are intermediates. Once we are done with these two in basic and intermediate, we can then move to hard part, that is like tree concepts such as binary trees, avial trees, and n-ary trees and graphs. Right? These are how the data structures are divided in difficulty level. So one must proceed according to difficulty. Right? Directly jumping to a hard concept won't help you much. You should like always start from the easy part, then move slowly to the tougher concepts, right? So what can you do to learn these concepts? You should pick a practice platform, right? Now the practice platforms that are highly recommended are LeetCode, InterviewBit, and GFG. Like you can either pick any one of these three. Okay, each is equally good, so you can just start practicing it. You can follow resources that I have listed. Like if you are someone who likes to learn concepts by reading, you can follow GFG or GFG. They have awesome articles. Like GFG covers all the concepts and algorithms in an article form also, right? And if you are someone like me who loves to learn from seeing videos, you can follow YouTube channels such as Take You Forward. Now Take You Forward is a very special channel because it teaches you how to like present your idea in an interview, like how to solve a problem in interview, from building the solution from brute force to the most optimized, right? So that's you will learn from Take You Forward also. Other than that, if for DP, you can always follow Aditya Verma sir. He's also known as the DP master, right? He has several playlists that are for DP, stacks, binary search, and sliding window concepts. He has some good playlist and good material, good questions that will like build your concept from very basics to like the hard part. Okay, you can follow Aditya Verma sir for learning algorithms. He has covered all the algorithms that are like required for uh, your interview, and Abdul Bari sir also for algorithms. Okay, at also if you want a systematic approach to learn data structures, you can surely follow any DSA sheet, being that will like give you a ladders to like you can perform on. So that you are learning the data structures in a very systematic way, like learning the arrays with easy level concepts and learning hard arrays, like learning algorithms in arrays, that such as sliding windows or two pointer algorithm. These are some basic algorithms that are used in data structures, right? So that way you can learn slowly you will be able to like perform better with the data structures. Okay, so coming to the most important question that is asked regarding data structures is how many questions should I perform to like so to be confident that I will be able to crack the interview. Okay, so what I would say is it's not about number, it's all about concept, right? You can either do 500 questions, but if you are not that good with the concepts, you won't be able to like perform well in an interview. Okay, but if you are someone who is good at concepts and has done only like 200 questions, and if you know your concepts, you will be surely able to make it through the interview. Okay, I have seen various people who use like who did like 200 questions and were able to crack a company, and some people did 900 and 1000 questions, then they were able to like crack a company. So it's not about number, it's all about concepts, right? So yeah, now if you have any doubts regarding data structures, can you just you can just ask in the live chat. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So for practice platforms, yeah, you can use LeetCode. I would suggest you can use LeetCode because it has a great community there. You will be getting like discussion page where you can like learn from other people that how they approach a problem, what was their mindset while solving a problem, how they like build a solution from brute force to like most optimized one, right? There they have various blogs regarding the questions, the concepts, the algorithms. Yeah, so that's my recommendation. You can surely use LeetCode. Also, you can use InterviewBit and GFG. Also, they are equally like important. Yeah. Okay. So any other doubt? Yeah. Dipanshu is asking for C sharp. Okay, Dipanshu, what I would recommend is learning C sharp is not recommended when you are starting or preparing for an interview. Like, because when you are performing in data structures, there might be a chance you are not allowed to like code in C sharp. It's not always the case, but yeah, there might be some probability like that you will be not given an option to perform in C sharp. You can surely learn C sharp. It's almost similar to this C and Java. It's also an object oriented language. As I said, once you learn one object oriented language, switching is not that hard. So yeah, try picking a language that is on C++ and Java. Also, if you are really interested in learning C sharp, you can also do that. But for data structures, I would highly recommend you to like sticking to C++ or Java. Okay. Okay. Another question that I have is like DSA important for a front end role? Like, yeah, as I said, DSA is asked in every interview, right? DSA is the main part that is the focus of technical interview. So for front end role, it's pure front end role. That high level DSA is not required, but having a intermediate knowledge of how data structures work and what are the algorithms, that will be a benefit for you. In a front end interview, the most like focus is on your front end concepts, so you should practice them more. But also having a good knowledge of data structures will surely help you to outperform your peers, right? Because data structures is used in every part. Like once you might be asked to like build a component that is using some optimize that requires some optimization and might use the concepts of data structure, so their data structures will surely help you. Also, they might have a specific round for data structures and then for front end. So yeah, you should prepare for data structures if you are like appearing for a front end job. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I guess let's move to the next part. Yeah. So coming to the second most important part in a technical interview is projects. Okay. So why must one make projects? Because they showcase your skill and talent. Okay. It basically tells, yeah, you are familiar with the modern concepts and you know how technology works, right? So for projects, there are three main fields, that is web development, app development, and machine learning. I have listed all the points for all of these three. My suggestion would be like starting from a development, because development is easy to learn and like showcases that, yeah, you have knowledge of how the technology works from front end to the back end, right? So first, let's discuss about web development. As we all know, web development is easy to learn. One can just start learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to get along with it, right? And then they can slowly like move ahead in the more difficult areas that are like React.js and AngularJS. So the learning the web development is beginner friendly. One node need to like know a lot of web development for making projects. Using some simple concepts also, they can build some good projects. Okay, so the most like in demand skill in web development is either MERN stack or mean stack, that is MongoDB, Express, and Node.js. You can then either choose for front end either React, that makes it MERN stack, or you can either choose your Angular for mean stack, right? These two stacks are like highly in demand in the industry for web development roles. Okay, so as I said, web development is a evergreen industry, so there are lots of opportunities for them. Okay, so today in this modern time, every company is moving to online part, so they always require a web developer, right? So yeah, one it's like easy to get a job role if you are like familiar with web development compared to other two. Okay, so yeah, I have a question regarding web development. Okay, so what resources you should follow? Yeah, so for web development, I would say you can like always go to channels that are like Acadmine. He has some like great learning resources for MERN stack and mean stacks, right? So that is a YouTube channel that I would recommend for learning web development. Okay, so yeah, coming to app development, yeah, app development has two major fields, that is Android development and iOS development, right? So Android basically requires Java as your language, and for iOS development, we use Swift. Okay, so these are the two main fields in an app development. Okay, it is a highly in demand skill because we are like a mobile friendly world now. Everything is built mobile first, so android and iOS are the highly demanded skills for a developer. It is a highly paid skill because we don't have that much like the android developers as compared to web developers, because it was like uh, it's quite a new field, and we have great opportunities and highly paid opportunities also. So for app development, the two most used frameworks that are React Native and Flutter. These are cross-platform frameworks. These are used to like follow the code once and use everywhere concept, because we can like code once and it can work on both Android and app. If you are like someone who like want to go into the native Android development and native iOS, so you will be needing to learn Java for uh, Android and Swift for iOS. Coming to React Native, like it was like built by Facebook in 2015. React Native follows JS as its primary language. So if you are someone who is like well versed with web development, so catching up with React Native won't be that much of a hassle for you. For Flutter, it's a quite new framework. It was launched by Google in 2017. It uses Dart as its primary language. So yeah, Dart is a pretty easy language. It's almost similar to JavaScript. It's almost similar to Java and C++, not JavaScript. Sorry. So yeah, catching up with Dart is not a big deal if you are like someone who's familiar with any of these two. It's easy to cop up and has a highly interactive community and great resources to learn Flutter. Okay, so recommendation for learning it is same. Academind has like great resources for app development and web development. He has great courses and great videos, like highly elaborative videos. You will be learning hands-on, right? Also, for web development, you can surely learn it in AccioJob also. Okay. Coming to machine learning is a future-proof skill, right? Nowadays, we see many technologies are moving to AI, AR, right? So it's a future-proof skill. It's a quite a new technology, so it has a great opportunities in research. If you are someone who is like willing to go in research domain, so learning machine learning will be a great option for you. Okay, it's a highly paid skill as it is a quite a new, and we don't have such great I would say analyst or machine learning scientist as of now in the industry in the beginner level. So yeah, that's a great opportunity for you. So you will be using Python or R as your main language in it. Okay, so that was all about these three. Okay, so now one can pick any of them. Okay, so and may build some projects. These are the some base technologies that are required to build projects. Okay, you can also like explore the area of like cryptography and blockchain. That is like cherry on the top. You build these projects using blockchain and, as I said, cryptography, along with app development, web development, or machine learning. That shows, yeah, you have mixed several concepts and you are like well versed with the technology that you are working on. Okay, so building projects is necessary because it showcases, yeah, you are a talented person who knows how technology works, right? Okay, so let's take some questions regarding projects. Okay, just put your questions in the chat. Okay, so I have a question that is, what beginner projects should we make, right? So I will be like explaining in brief. That is for web development for a beginner level. You can like start from HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Try building some projects that use these technologies, and you can for a beginner you can like perform to-do list. Okay, a calculator app, a gallery app, right? These will help you like build your concepts. But when you are like appearing for an interview, these projects are not considered as good because these are quite generic projects. It's just for learning purpose. But when you are appearing for an interview, try building some projects that are specific to you, that is personalized by you, right? Because interviewer knows what projects are like being circulated in the industry, and he knows what project is like from where. So building a project that is your own will surely stand you out, okay, from your peers. So building a project that for example, you can look around you, you can like find problems, because every project must have a motivation, like for why did you build it, because it's a standard question that is asked when discussing projects. So why, you should always know why you are building any projects. Okay, so try looking around you, try thinking what problems that you can solve with these technologies, and that is considered as a good project. Try mixing 4 or 5 concepts together, that will like create a good project. Okay. Okay, so Priyo is asking how many projects should we have. Okay, so in a technical interview, if you are applying for a technical job, you should like have at least two or three projects that like basically tell what technologies you are worked with. These should be your top projects, like the best projects that you have built. Okay, so 2 3 is quite a good number. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I guess, yeah, let's then just move to the next part. Okay, so third most important thing in learning for learning is core subjects. Now, what are core subjects? These are some fundamentals of computer science that are like required to learn by everyone if you are appearing for a technical role. Okay, so the 4 subjects are object oriented programming, database management system, operating system, and computer networks, right? So if you are you must learn the theory of all the 4. Okay, the first 2 are like highly recommended. You must always learn object oriented programming and database management system. Operating system is asked but not in that depth, and same for computer networks. Just knowing the theory of computer networks will be like sufficient. But in case of object oriented programming and database management, you should like learn the applications and as well as theory. Now, the theory part in object-oriented programming consists of most like OOP concepts, like such as inheritance, polymorphisms, abstractions, and working with classes. These are the top asked theory parts for object-oriented programming. Also, one can ask you to like create a low-level system that is called system design. You can using object-oriented programming. For object-oriented programming, I would like suggest the resources to such as Geeks for Geeks. Like Geeks for Geeks has some great articles, interview bits for learning the theory concepts, and for learning low-level design, you can follow a YouTube channel that is of Gaurav Sen and Don Martin System Design. That is a GitHub repo that contains all the information about how a system design is done and how you should approach a problem. Okay, so learning theory part and the application is must in object-oriented programming. Now, coming to database management system, it you should learn theory part of database management system, such as what is a database, what is the difference between SQL and NoSQL databases, like how the databases work, what is like primary key, candidate key, foreign key, what is normalization, and what is ACID properties. These are some highly asked concepts in database management system. Okay, along with this, you are like expected to write some SQL queries. So learning SQL is a must. You will surely ask to like write a query to the database using SQL in an interview. Okay, so that's about database management system. So coming to the resources for it is same. You can use interview bits and Geeks for learning both SQL and theory part. Coming to operating system, we have to learn like major concepts of operating system. That is, what are the types of OSs, what is semaphores, what are deadlocks, how are deadlocks prevented, what causes deadlocks, what are scheduling algorithms, various scheduling algorithms we have, like round robin, first come first come, shortest job first, and learning about various kernels, how kernels work, what is a kernel. These are some theory parts that are like required to learn in an operating system. Okay, so same resources that are GFG and interview bit. Both resources have like quite a good material when it comes to like theory concepts of the core subjects. So yeah, so these three are like your top priority subjects when it comes to core, and computer networks is the fourth major core subject, but it's not that much asked in a technical interview, right? So in computer networks, knowing about the OSI model is a most important thing in computer networks. That is all the layers, functionality of all the layers, like how they work, how data is transmitted, like what are topologies, how a congestion in a network is controlled, how a routing is done, what are DNS, what are various algorithms, that is TCP, UDP, IP, how these work, how basically how the networking works, how a data is moved from sender to receiver, right? So these are some major concepts that you need to look upon in computer networks. Okay, so these four are core subjects, all have same resources, that is Geek for Geeks and Interview Bits. Okay, so they have like pretty good articles on it. All right, so these were about core subjects. Now if any doubts regarding core subjects, you can just ask. Yeah, sure. For oops, I can recommend YouTube channels that are basically uh, Geek for Geeks. Geek for Geeks has like good videos for object-oriented programming. They also have their own YouTube channel. Also, if you are like learning for object-oriented programming, you will be learning OOPS concepts simultaneously, right? Okay. Someone is asking if will this video will be public after all. Yeah, this video is recorded and this will be like available after the session also. Yeah. Okay, Sangeeta is asking how to learn machine learning, right? Okay, so Sangeeta, for you, I have a YouTube channel that for learning machine learning, that is Krish Nair. Krish Nair has some great resources when it comes to like learning machine learning, some great playlists, like starting from the basic level of Python to like advanced concepts of machine learning. You can learn from that. Okay. Okay, so I have another question. Sanatan is asking if should we develop projects for ourselves or another for a technical interview, or you need to make any professional choice. Okay, so as I said, projects are something that showcase your skill, right? You are supposed to build projects that solve a problem, because problem solving is like you should always have a motivation to like build a project, right? So you are not important, it's not important to like build a professional projects. As a beginner, you are not expected that much, but you should build projects that are like of certain level, that showcase your skills and that are like used to solve some problem. Okay. Okay, so Nick is asking, is it important to know all core subjects? Right. Yeah, it's as I said, you should like prioritize your core subjects. Learning object-oriented programming is your first priority, then database management, then operating system. These three are the must. And if you have like sufficient time, you can also go for computer networks. Having a basic knowledge of computer networks will surely help, but going in depth is only when you have like sufficient time, because it's asked in interviews, but it's not that in depth asked, right? Okay. Okay. Uh, Okay, Nalin is asking, can we learn OOPS along with C++ or other things? Yeah, as I said, object-oriented programming, C++ and Java both are object-oriented languages. So once you are learning them, you are surely learning object-oriented programming simultaneously, right? As I said, they are object-oriented programming languages. So you will be going into the concepts of inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction once you are like learning C++ and Java. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's then just move to next part. Okay, yeah, coming to the soft skills. Like, okay, so far we have talked about only the technical aspects of the interview, but soft skills are equally important, right? those parts were like showcasing your knowledge and everything that you have learned. But soft skills is how you perform in an interview, because you, as I said, you are not hired as an individual candidate, you are hired as a contributor to a team. So being a team player is a must, and that is like how you showcase by your soft skills. Okay, so what are my some suggestions for soft skills are having a good introduction, because when you start an introduction, you basically set the pace and set the control of like the flow of your introduction. um, by giving a good introduction, you are like setting the flow of your interview. Okay, so accordingly you can like showcase your talents and like basically tell the interview what are you good at. So creating a good introduction is must. So what is a good introduction? You should always like elaborate about your recent education, that is like your college qualification, not going to from your first class to 12th class, that's not required. Just the college education is sufficient. And then if you have done any internships or you have any work experience, you should like elaborate that what was your role, how you contributed to it, what problems did you solve, right? So that's about internship and experience. And then explaining a bit about your projects, like these projects, what projects you have done, what technologies have you touched. So there are three main things in an introduction. First is your education, second is your internship and work experience, and and projects. Okay, so you should always like conclude your introduction by also telling how you are a great contributor to like that company, why should you be hired, right? So you should always include that in your introduction also. Okay, for example, you can like start, okay, like, hi, I'm Jasmeet Singh, I've done my education from so and so college, and I have done several internships that there my role was this, I was assigned with a problem, this was the solution that I came with, my solution helped to solve these problems. Okay, and coming to my projects, I have like made projects in this technology. And like you should end with how you will be a great contributor to that like company. As I said, I have worked in various fields and I know how industry works, and I have the knowledge of several products. So yeah, I think I will be a great fit for your the organization. So that's how you should have an introduction, right? Now coming to the second most important point is conveying your thoughts. So it's always assumed that whenever you are like sitting for an interview, you should be a master in English. Okay, that's not the case, because it's a technical interview, it's not your English interview. No one is asking you to like use a high level vocabulary. You should like keep in mind how when should you use punctuations and stuff. It's not that. You should be able to like express yourself and like make the interviewer understand your thoughts, that is sufficient. Learning English to a professional level is not that much required, right? Okay, so coming to the next part is asking questions. So what do we mean by asking questions? Whenever you are in a technical interview, you will be like given problems. Okay, you are supposed to solve the problem. But once a interviewer explains your problem, is that enough? No. You should always ask problems. You should always clear your all the doubts regarding the problem. Basically, keeping showing that yeah, you are trying to understand the problem and you are also clearing your doubts. For example, let's say I'm the interviewer and I'm giving you a problem that you have to find the middle element of a linked list. So everybody knows that we can like solve this problem by two pointer approach, that is fast and slow pointer. Okay, but what you could have done is like directly jumping to the solution. You could have asked several questions around it, like is the linked list cyclic or not? Does the linked list contains any loop or not? Like you are basically clarifying all your doubts regarding the problem, and also showcasing yeah, you know the concept well, and you are like trying to build a solution, and you have not seen a problem like so before, right? So that's about asking the questions. Next is keeping the session as interactive as possible, right? So you should always try to like keep the session as interactive, because uh, interactive sessions shows that yeah, you are confident with your knowledge, you know the concepts, and you are like trying to build the solution. Okay, For example, as I said, you are given a problem like find the middle element of a linked list. You ask your doubts. Now you are like basically building an approach. So you should always try and build an approach and like discuss your approach with examples. Okay, you should before moving to the code, you should like elaborate. Yeah, okay, so I'm thinking this, I will be using two pointers. One will move slow, one will move fast. The fast one will move twice the speed of slow. That way I will be able to like reach the middle element when my fast pointer is reaching the end. That's how you describe your approach. You can might take some example. Okay, so for example, we have a linked list of 5 elements. My slow pointer will be start from the first, and slow pointer will start also from the first. Then I will moving with these steps. Once I reach the final, my middle element will be pointing at 3, so that way I will be having the middle element. So that's how you elaborate your approaches and keep the session as interactive as possible. The next part is like thinking out loud. Okay, so what does thinking out loud is, we got the question, we asked the interviewer about all our doubts, we clarified them, then we build an approach, we like elaborated it, we use some examples to like discuss it. Now when it comes to coding part, we should not just start coding and just code it out, and then at the end let's say, yeah, we are done with the code, now can you just check the code. No, that's not the case. You should always think out loud, right? You discussed your approach, you are confident with it. Now when you are coding, you should like tell the interviewer, okay, so this is what I'm doing, this is the loop that I'm writing, this loop will do this pointer will move at twice the speed, this pointer will move one at a time. So that way you are like describing your code along with your coding. That keeps the session as interactive as possible. That shows your confidence, that shows your command on the language and your problem solving skills. Okay, so coming to the last but not the least point is ending on a positive note. Okay, whenever you are in a technical interview, you will be like at the end asked whether you have any questions or not, right? So what is the best thing you can do is you should always ask, right? Not asking a question like ends it on a sad note, but asking questions like shows your real interest in like joining the company. You should always ask what you can ask questions such as what is like the expectations from the for the company, for me, what is the job like a company's job environment, work environment, right? So these are the some questions that you can ask to basically tell the interview like, yeah, okay, so I'm really interested in knowing about the company and working there, so I am really so the interviewer knows, yeah, this candidate is highly motivated to join the company and will surely perform better. Okay, so that's on ending on a positive note. All right, so coming to some resources, so how will you learn them? It's first thing is it's all about practice. So these soft skills are not something that you will learn in one day. You can surely practice it. What my suggestion will be, finding a peer that is like also preparing for an interview. You can have mock sessions. Okay, so mock sessions of with him, that way you will be like practicing your thought building, your question asking skills, your thinking out loud problem. Okay, so also now when it comes to like resources, you should use India Bix. Okay, right, that is a great resource for learning soft skills and some questions around it. It will also like help you in an HR round also. And next is GFG has some articles on how to like perform on interview when it comes to soft skills. Also learning from previous year experiences will help you a lot, right? Learning from someone's mistake will surely help you not to make it, right? So these are some resources that are firstly is trying to find a peer that is at your level and also like preparing for an interview. Second is GFG and India Bix for learning the questions and having a perfect answer for them. And the lastly is learning from previous year experience, right? Okay, so I guess we are done with soft skills also. Now we will be having a Q&A session. Now you can ask any doubts regarding you had throughout the session. Now I will be answering them. All right. Okay, so Gurpreet is asking how should like you express yourself. Okay, Gurpreet. So, expressing yourself is like you can try out, as I said, walk interviews. That way, you will be getting comfortable with like explaining your thoughts. Explaining yourself is like just having a good conversation with the interviewer, basically about your thoughts, what you are thinking, how you are like approaching a problem, and what algorithms you are using. So that is like sufficient to explain yourself, and thinking out loud really helps when to keep the session interactive, and that also shows, yeah, you are confident and you are expressing yourself like what is your at your mind at that point, how you are like approaching the problem. That is how you express yourself. Okay. Okay, Santan, for the channel name for machine learning is Krishnayar. Yeah. Okay, so Lakshmi is saying building a project by my own is very difficult for me. Okay, so Lakshmi, when you are a beginner, yeah, it's sure like building a project on your own will be a difficult task. You can always go check out for a help. In AccioJob, we have mentorship sessions. You can like book a mentor. That way, they will help you like build in building projects and clearing your doubts regarding it. Also, if you can like search on Google for any concept that you are stuck with, because googling is a part of development. It is a skill that you are like also it's good to have. Okay, so that way you can like build projects with some help and your own ideas. Yeah. Okay, so Sandeep is asking why should we hire you? What is its answer? So Sandeep, as I said, you can like check out the resources on the GFG and India Bigs. There they have like great answers to these HR round questions. Okay, or you can then look at the others questions and try to build your own. That way you will be learning for HR rounds and these questions. Okay. Okay, so Joydeep, what is the difference between software developer versus web developer? Okay, so whenever we are like hiring for specific role, that is like for front end development, back end development, that is with the web, that is the role of web developer. Okay, so what is software developer? Software developer doesn't have any particular role. It's he should be able to like work on various technologies. He might be asked to work on app development, machine learning, or web development. He just needs to know the concepts, and he will be good to go with any development, right? But when it comes to like specific to web development using front end and back end, that's what is a role of a web developer. Okay, Nick is asking what to write on the technical part in resume. Okay, Nick, your resume should be concise and elaborative also, right? It should elaborate all your skills. It should not be too long. It should be a one-page resume. You should describe about your education, as I said, and then any work experience that you have. Okay, so basically you should like elaborate about what was your role, what problems you came up with, what were your solutions, and what was the benefit of your contribution that came to the company, right? So these are some things that you should mention with your experience, and also some projects that you have built, explaining why you build, what is the special thing, what is the main highlight of your project, how it stands out from the other, and what technology that you use. That's what you should write in your resume. Okay. Okay, so Sai is asking how should we start with a project if someone is from non-IT field? Okay, like the field does not matter in building projects. If you are someone who is from non-IT or IT, that doesn't matter. You should first learn the concepts. As I said, for web development, you should start with HTML, CSS, JavaScript. For app development, you can pick either one, Android or iOS. Then you can learn Java for Android and Swift for iOS. Similarly, for machine learning, you can learn Python, and then if you want to build a project, you will be having a base set with these technologies. You could like come up with any idea and then just try and build it out. This background of you doesn't matter in building projects, right? If you are from CS or non-CS background, that doesn't matter. Projects is something very like easy for anyone to catch up when you are like good with the basis. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so Lakshay is asking which platform should we use for contests. So Lakshay, my answer is first learn DSA, and if you are like good with DSA, and then you can like move to the coding platforms such as CodeShift and Code Forces. There you have like those are for specific coding, like competitive programming, right? But first my suggestion would be learn basics of DSA. Try move with difficulty level. First learn arrays that are in easy level concepts, arrays, strings, and linked list, then intermediate part, and then hard. After that, if you like are confident enough and you still have time for your placement, you can like move to the competitive programming. It's also a very good domain. If you It will surely help you like ace in online rounds or before in or technical rounds. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Samaik, you were asking what should be your brief answer for tell me about yourself. Yeah. So tell me about yourself is like basically given a brief introduction about yourself, right? So as I said, you should like start from your very basic, your most recent education, and like then sharing your experience, that is your internship or work experience that you have done. Okay, and along with that, answering the four main things like what was your role, what problems did you solve, like what was your contribution, and how that contribution helped the company. And then if you so yeah and tell me about yourself is like giving a good introduction. Okay, also you can like check out the resources that I shared was India Bix and JFG for these questions. There you will be like finding the answers from others, and you can like try and build your own answers. Okay, so Roja is asking MBA students are eligible this for this jobs. Yeah, MBA students are also eligible. There are no criteria. If you are someone who is like has interest in CS and has the knowledge, everybody is applicable. You just need to like check out the requirements of the company you are applying for. Okay, so MBA is not issue. Okay, any more questions that we have? Okay, so Manish is asking how should we practice React.js? Okay, all right, Manish. So for React.js, I would like suggest you first learning the basics of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Once you are like good with them, you can then move to JavaScript. For learning JavaScript, I would recommend a YouTube channel that is CS Dojo. That is CS Dojo and Net Ninja. They both have like great resources, great videos for learning React.js, right? So those two resources that you can follow. And for practice, like practicing in React.js is like building projects. Build as many projects as you can using React.js. That will like solidify your concepts in it, and yeah, that's how you practice. Okay. Okay, I guess that was it for the session, right? I have like cleared all your doubts. Okay, so yeah, let's then just wrap it up. Okay, so yeah, at last, thank you all for joining. Okay, do subscribe to the AccioJob channel. Do like the video so that we can get a reach and help more peers. Okay, so thank you all for joining.